everyone, it's Cosmic here, and today I'm going to take you all through a beautiful Equestrian Estate property tour. This is a humongous single-player world built using SWEM and some other mods that I'll link in the description below, but everything you would want in your dream equestrian property, this pretty much has. A huge thanks to Violet because she is the one who built all of this and is letting me use her world. Without further ado, I'll take you guys through the tour of the Minecraft Cosmic Equestrian Center. We're gonna kick off the tour right here at the entrance gates to the serene countryside. So you've got these big grandioso gates, and there's no question you're going to be walking into a horse crazy lady's property because we've got horse heads right off the bat. All throughout the property, you'll also notice there is some beautiful landscaping. These lantern light pillars add such a nice charm throughout the whole property. And to our right and left, we've got vineyards. So we can go grape picking whenever we like. And I spy with my little eye a horse trailer. And while it is not functional, it is such a neat, thoughtful detail, and it really adds to the realism. I mean, I pretend I go everywhere in this thing with my horses. It's a nice 3-stall horse trailer. I like to think that little area right there is living quarters for a bed or something. And on the back, we've got the brand. So we've got a little license plate with Cosmic. You'll also notice we have lots and lots and lots of pastures all throughout this property, so we can have plenty of horses living their best lives. And heading on over kind of toward my house area, you'll notice we have a little run-in stall paddock. My horses were living here, but I actually kicked them out and moved them down to a barn over there. But at the moment, this is housing my livestock. So we've got some cattle, very cute little piggies, and we can't forget about the sheep. Look at that face. Not a thought behind those eyes. Over by the run-in stalls, we have some really neat touches. We've got this little mental enrichment hay stuffed ball that they can swing about, and also a livestock scratching post. The stalls are pretty much all the same. We've got a grain feeder, hay feeder, and a water trough. Oh my goodness. You guys, don't report this. They had no water. And then they also have a little salt lick here because they gotta get in those minerals. This paddock is like the prime spot because I can just peek out my little window and check on my critters. Now, if we venture down this path, we get to the true heart of the property. To the left of the main barn, we have got our indoor round pen. It's great for training those horses who are just starting out under saddle and they might be a little frisky, or to just lunge them or do groundwork. This is actually the back entrance to the barn, and as you can see, it has a monitor style and some elements of a shed row barn. And at this gorgeous entrance here, we have a little doggy house, and over here we have our resident pigeon, who is more like our little guard pigeon. We also have a little chicken coop that has become the pigeon coop. That's his home now. Moving swiftly onwards into the interior, this is where the magic happens, guys. I love the warm oaky tones of this barn. It's very inviting. Before we get into the barn, let's look at one of the rooms here. So this is the office, which is where I can do admin work. It also has lockers for the pretend boarders to put their personal belongings in. In the back of the office, we have a little showcase for some ribbons and trophies won in shows. And this hidden door in the back leads to our bathroom. And looking at the barn itself, there are 18 stalls here, so we can house quite a few horses. Let's take a closer look at the stalls and meet some of the residents that call this place home. Everyone has their own nameplates, so you know who you're looking at. On the front of each stall, they have a halter and lead rope rack, as well as a decorative ribbon for each of them. And inside the stalls, we have their grain feeder, and on the other side is their water trough. We have a spigot here, so I don't have to carry around a bucket with me. I just have to click on this, and it'll fill right up. Each stall is pretty spacious, and I also always make sure to bed their stalls really heavy so they're nice and comfortable. And then they have their hay rack here, and that is just about what each individual stall consists of. I'll show you guys all the horses we have at the moment. So this little girl is Daisy, who is hiding her head in a wall. Cute. And then we have Wren over here. This right here is Harper. She's poking her head through. Rosie is a lovely chestnut. This is Boone. Over here we have Pippa and Meadow. Over here is Dennis the Menace. He's absolutely gorgeous. And in this section, we have Aspen and Spot. And coming down to the main aisle, to the right, we have Jasper. And across the way is Flint. And in the final section, to our right, this is Ranger, Scout, who is hiding his face in the grain, of course. This is Eclipse. And over here, we have Clover, Cedar, And finally, we've got Brooke. And over here, we have the barn info board. And this is also just kind of a chill out area as well. But moving on, in this section of the barn is our lovely wash stall. And this is pretty cool because it actually has a solarium. It's definitely one of the more bougie things we have, but it's great to warm the horses up, especially when you're bathing in the winter. This will keep them nice and dry and warm, and it really relaxes their muscles. If we go into the depths of the wash stall, we have a broom and a bucket here to clean up after the horses, as well as a sink. And then we just have some random bits and bobs. Right there is our grooming box. Of course, it wouldn't be a wash stall without a hose. And then we have these cool decorative cross ties. And I wouldn't be doing this tour any justice if I didn't mention the treat stash. If we head on down the center aisle, say hello to some of the ponies. Coming to our left here, we have our feed room. Up there is our feed schedule board for all the horses in the barn. And then in these grain bins, we've got alfalfa pellets, sweet feed, all the grain they could need. Entering this secret back room, we have our grain making station. So we have a sink here if we need to add water to the grain. Vitamins and minerals are up in these shelves. And this fridge behind that is where we store all the fresh produce for the horses. And right by our feed room is the tack room, which is, let's be honest, my favorite room in the whole barn. Over here, we've got a couple of tack trunks that are filled with blankets, extra stuff, you name it. And then above that, we have our bridle rack, and then lots and lots of saddles, of course. This box is where we store our polo bandages, leg wraps, and then we also have a place for crops and whips. And the saddle pads get their own room because we have so many. But as you can see, we've got quite the colorful collection here, and we have a washer and dryer here for all our tack cleaning needs. Behind me is another entryway to the barn. We have some strays at the minute, getting some free rent and food. We have a little cat play tree house and also a bed. Of course, they're here for the free food, let's be honest. This is also just a nice chill area. We've got some more ribbons to showcase, some horsey books if you just want to chill out and read, as well as a notice board here to just communicate important information, updates, and schedules. We have 6 stalls down in this corner, so this is the end of the barn, and this is nearing the front entrance of everything. So it's a little bit of a different look here. And you can see we have some friendly faces poking their heads out, which is one of my favorite features about these little stall doors, is that they can always say hello out their little windows. Anyways, to the right of the barn, we have our paddocks. This is where we turn all the ponies out for their time in the paddock, and we have a day and night rotation. We only have 6 paddocks here and about 18 horses in there. So we try to keep it nice and fair with the rotation. Some go out with friends, some go out by themselves. And if we want them all out, we do have some other pastures over yonder, so everyone can be turned out and enjoy themselves. Hello. One of my favorite fixtures in this property, smack dab in the center of all the main sites, we've got a beautiful fountain with lots of fishies swimming in here. Before we head on into that indoor arena, I want to show you guys the outdoor. So we have this viewing area, which is super duper handy if you just want to watch the horses as they're doing their work. And then we've got 2 outdoor wash stalls, which are very conveniently located by this outdoor arena, which I will show you guys right now. Again, we've got some really cute decor coming into this arena. As you can see, this is not your typical traditional arena. It's a bit of a misshapen oval circle type thing, but I think that's why it has so much charm. It's great for schooling and flat work. We have a mounting block here. Over there is like our storage corner, so we have some extra jump props if we want to switch things up from those cavalettis. I mean, look how gorgeous everything is. I'm so excited to show you guys this indoor arena. It is the biggest building on the entire property. Coming upstairs, we have got a viewing area. This just overlooks the entire indoor arena. It's a really nice lounge space to watch some ponies or sit down, read a book. I also love this huge window that gives you a really good view of the property. And welcome to our humongous indoor show jumping arena. We have got a wide variety of jumps here and even some water obstacles. We've also got some jumps with fillers in them. You can make a pretty fun course with all these fences. And over in this corner is where we store all our rails and standards. Overall, this is like my dream arena. Coming off this main roundabout path, we have got our cross-country course, which is honestly my favorite element of this whole property. So right here is our start and finish box. This right here is like a judge's booth or a viewing center. I'll give you guys a whirl through this course. So we've got the start and finish signs. There are a total of 13 jumps. Jump number 1 is just your typical roll top fence, and then with a little curve over here we have a rail fence. These next flags are just marking that you're supposed to go through water so you keep on track. And then we have a little water to log jump, which is on a bit of a bank. This next one is a chevron jump, and then you go past the viewing center booth over this ditch right here and do a little U-ey around to this Olympic ring jump. At least that's what I call it. And then over to this corner fence, do another turn, come back round. Then you pop over this bench jump, round the corner, through this V fence, and then go through the keyhole fence that's shaped like a star. How fun. And then you go over this corner jump. Last but not least, over this tiger trap jump. And you can then race on home. And there you have it, our cross-country course. But my favorite decoration of this whole course, the duck. And you may have noticed near the cross-country course, we've got another ring here, and it's actually not another arena, but a racetrack. I've actually brought out one of my horse's Peaches so she can demonstrate. Let's try this out. So we have the starting line right there, and then bombs away. Look at her go. She's actually pretty fast. Maybe we're gonna have to switch from eventing to just racing. But this is really fun if you just want to have like a friendly competition, or if you're just training your horses and you want a fun way to exercise them. And in the middle here is this grassy viewing section, so you can just watch the horses fly on by. Anyways, I'm gonna put this girl away so we can continue. There is a pretty cool trail system on this property. So starting out over here, we have a lot of cool little details along the way. Like you can see the vineyard, and if you go deep enough, you can also find an apple orchard out here. There's so many hidden gems that just make it so realistic and cozy. And if you go deep in the trail enough, you'll find this pond, and upstream is this tree with a bunch of hanging lanterns. It is such a vibe, especially at night when everything's lit up. It's so peaceful and tranquil. Definitely one of my favorite like secret little spots. It's a really cool trail system though. It goes all the way from the main barns to like the cross-country area. Coming off the trails, this property is really cool because not only do we have one main barn, but we also have a secondary smaller barn. So this has half the amount of stalls, but it's where I'm keeping my personal horses right now. This barn is designed pretty similarly to that main barn, but it's got a complete different layout. This barn has a total of 7 stalls. We've got a wash stall, doesn't have the fancy solarium, but it does have a hose and the basics. This over here is Peach's stalls. All the stall layouts are very, very similar to the main barn, and each stall has its own color because I kind of wanted a rainbow theme going on. So we have red for Peaches, orange for Future Horse, and Snip, Peach's baby, I guess not so baby anymore, has a yellow themed stall. And then over here we've got green, blue, purple, and pink. I think having matchy stuff is also really cute, and I love giving each horse their own color. Down in this area, we've got some more food and water if the dogs are hanging out with me. This is also the area I keep my muck tools and wheelbarrow. And then we've got my feed room, so we've got the hay room, got some treats, another notice board, and then also more storage for grain, the feed schedule for the horses at this barn, a fridge for all the apples we store from the apple orchard. Over here is our tack room, so we've got saddles, bridles, tack trunks. I have my riding boots right here, more treats because you can never have too many treats, and another washer and dryer, plus some other nicks and knacks. And yeah, that's our feed and tack room. This is not my dog, he's just cute. He's just a prop. I may have to upgrade and kick out the boarding horses eventually when this barn becomes too small for all of my horses. Snip, you're looking a little depressed, pal. There you go, buddy. Anyway, over here we have the pastures for this barn. This one is the mare pasture, and then the one across the aisle is the stallion pasture. We actually don't have many horses in them right now, quite obviously, because I only have 2 horses and they're inside, but that is our second barn. At the back of this barn, we actually have a garage here. This garage has 2 stalls, and in one is our hay shed. So this is where we store our Timothy and our alfalfa. And then in the other one, we have, of course, a tractor, because this is, after all, a farm. Right by the garage is the home to our resident bunnies. So this is the bunny hutch. At the minute, we have 2 bunnies. So this is Little Toast, and of course, none other than Jammy, because they have to have matching names. This is such a cozy little hutch. They never are in it. They are forever hopping in place, unfortunately. And if we travel far and wide through the pastures, we come about my home. It kind of has a farmhouse vibe going on with that wraparound porch. And can we appreciate the functioning chimney? One thing I love about this is it also has such cute landscaping details everywhere. Lots of plants and flowers. Right here we have a pond. And over here we have a porch swing. I mean, how cute is that? But going on into the actual house tour, we've got lots of animal stuff all around. So you know I'm an animal crazy lady. We've got leashes, a food bowl, and shout out to my border collie Indigo. And then this is our cat tree house, because we do have a resident kitty who I will show you guys in just a minute. First, let's head on up and take a tour of the upstairs. So here's my room. Here's Gizmo, our little kitty. She just lies in her bed 24/7. Love that. There are so many decorations in here that make it feel really homey. So we've got books, there's my computer, we've got vines everywhere and a place to paint. It is a very chill, cozy bedroom for me. And then this is the guest bedroom. So this is just a little pink room. It's very vibey in here. I mean, I often sleep in here because I just, you know, sometimes you want to sleep not in your room, and that's okay. But again, the decorations are adorable in here. Across the hall, we've got our upstairs bathroom, pretty typical. We've got a litter box there for Miss Kitty, and it's a great place to do your business. Shall I go in more depth? I don't think so. Back downstairs, this is kind of a chill area. We've got a little phone, some books, and this is the downstairs bathroom. Across the way is the kitchen. We have so much cute decorations in here. We've got a cookie jar, some bread. We have just like little knickknacks, like a bowl, apple basket, a nice little island for cooking, and we've got a cake ready to be eaten up. And in the dining room, guess what? We have more cakes to be eaten. I think that's a reflection of what I would love my diet to look like in real life. We have very classy and elegant decorations in this room. And if we go outside, we also have a little barbecue area. I wasn't just caught trying to kill a dog. I don't know where it came from and why it's invincible. And on the other side of the porch, we have a garden. So we have some seedlings here, and then we've got some other flowers and produce growing, as well as a little gardening station here. The backyard landscaping, though, is flawless. So we've got this huge pool and a little lounging area with some beach chairs. And over here, we have another little chicken coop, but this time not with pigeons, with actual chickens. So we have, this is Beyonce, this is Biscuit, and this is our little Nugget. They are just living their best chicken lives. One hidden gem in this backyard is that we also have a tree house. You guys, this is literally my dream. We have a little hideout. The door is so cute. You can overlook the world from here. I love it. I think it's such a neat detail. And we have even more going on in the backyard. We have another garden here. So we're growing some chili peppers, and we also have a little carrot patch, as well as some lettuce crops and onions. And this happy guy is Pete, who is our resident scarecrow. He scares off all those pesky birds. Outside of the garden, we have another stunning tree and lots of floweriness. It's just very lively in this area. And we've got several bird houses here, actually. Oh, that's probably why we have such a bad bird problem. Poor Pete is working double time. But I just love this backyard. It's very lively and there's lots of things to do. Moving swiftly onwards, we have got the garage, which is where I store my truck, because I'm a horse girl, so I have to be driving a truck and also can pull the horse trailer. Pretend, but I like to think it can. And then we also have a place to store some tools and also a lawnmower, but luckily most of my animals are my lawnmowers, so I don't really have to pull that out much. And that, folks, is the massive equestrian estate tour of the Cosmic Equestrian Center. Let me know what you guys think. I'm personally very excited to start bonding, training, breeding, showing with my horses, all of the things. And a huge thank you to Violet for allowing me to use her beautiful equestrian center. Subscribe to be a part of our barn family. Toodaloo, guys!